We all know that guy that talks with such certainty and confidence. You would think he'd seduced 1,000 women and conquered even more men. But then when you actually see him faced with a situation requiring that confidence, he's about as useful as a child with a diaper full of shit. That's because he has fake confidence. And well, that's just not the case with Geralt of Rivia. So if you're caught up through season 2 of The Witcher, you've probably noticed now that Geralt is basically the peak epitome of true core confidence. He's basically like a combination of James Bond and Goku. He wants all the smoke, no one's safe. Unlike a lot of the Fugazis, there are a lot of those people that put on this fake front of confidence. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you don't, but that's not the case with Geralt. And when watching The Witcher season 1 and 2, I noticed 3 big things that separate him from all the fakes. So we're going to talk about that today. So let's take a look at this interaction that he had in season 2, where one of his best friends ends up turning into this wicked, crazy tree monster. And I want you to tell me what you notice that Geralt does that is very important. Roll the clip. Guessed making a quick decision, and then you guessed right. Number 1 is decisiveness. When he realized that one of his best friends had been overtaken by a monster, he had to make a very quick decision whether to attack or save him with the hope of, resurrecting him and bringing him back from this horrible curse later on down the road. He had to make the decision to attack and potentially kill one of his best friends. People want to follow the man that is on a path. No one wants to follow the guy that when the going gets tough, when a decision needs to be made, he's standing there with his jaw hung open, looking like he only has 2 brain cells and doesn't know his head from his ass. The next big sign that I noticed is that he speaks with extreme conviction. Now, there are some certain tricks that anyone can implement at any time to come off as more confident through the way that they speak. Some of these are vocal tonality, the inflection that you use. And to explain this, I hired somebody with even better tonality than myself. So, take it away, Mr. X.
There are 3 different tonalities. Rapport seeking, which is supplicative, low status, searching for approval, ending each statement with an upward inflection. Rapport neutral, which has a combination of upward and down inflections, as if you are talking to a friend or someone with the same social status. And rapport breaking, much like you would hear from someone in authority, with a downward fluctuation in tonality. This is the tone of the confident man, not seeking approval, not looking for friends, needing nothing.
Thank you, Mr. X. Very enlightening. Now, those are some things you can use at any time, but there are some things that you can't quite fake. And these are things like knowledge and responses, being witty enough to, if somebody tries to say something to humiliate you, you can have a quick response and cover yourself and actually keep your composure when confronted with something that could potentially hurt your image. Geralt does this very well. Let's take a look at how he responded when somebody in the pub tried to humiliate him.
The butcher of Blaviken bleats utter nonsense.
Perhaps our esteemed guest would like to entertain us with how he slayed the elves at the edge of the world.
At least when Filavandrel's blade kissed my throat, I didn't shit myself. Which is all I can hope for you, good lords. At your final breath, a shitless death. But I doubt it.
Having a witty response like that with a quick timing is something that's invaluable and you cannot fake it. It's something that only comes through practice and conversational skill, which can actually be increased just like any other skill you're trying to sharpen. So when I had the idea to make this video, I thought who better than Morning Brew to sponsor today's video. They're a daily newsletter that catches you up on everything news, tech, and finance, and it takes less than 5 minutes to breeze through the articles. You could probably do it in like 2 minutes if you want. Oh, and did I mention it's free? So like, why the hell not? To thrive in conversation, to have witty, canned responses, you need to know a wide variety of things about the current climate and things going on in the world. I mean, just yesterday I read that $7.6 billion could have been bet on the Super Bowl yesterday, and that's up 78% from last year. Also, NASA finally turned in the first photo from their $10 billion James Webb telescope, and it's So click the link in the description, check it out. If something looks interesting on any certain day, you can click it and learn more about it. This will do nothing but help sharpen your conversational skills. If somebody asks you what's going on with crypto and NFTs, you'll know a little bit because you've clicked on a couple of these articles. Or if somebody tries to embarrass or humiliate you, you might know something that they don't because you took 2 minutes to read that article that morning. So being skillful in conversation or even confrontation where somebody is trying to make a fool of you, you can't fake that. You can't pretend your way through a witty comeback or a good response or flipping the table and making them look stupid. That only comes with compounding those experiences and practice, basically learning what works for you and what works against them. Because the last thing you want is when people are looking up to you as a beacon of hope, you don't want to end up looking like the kid with a dream meme.
Have you ever had a dream that you had?
And the final thing that should be of no big surprise to you, and that is keeping your composure even when the stakes are high. Geralt does this better than most people I've seen. I want to show you this clip of how Geralt handles when he is going to be judged by the same people that he had fought earlier to decide whether he gets to live or die.
The sentence will be passed by the very council members you attacked. It is sure to be death.
I suppose that's one way of getting some rest.
You can see that he totally keeps his cool, he doesn't panic, and he even makes a joke about it, has a witty response because he has complete trust in himself and his own abilities. And I just want to show you one last clip where Yennefer actually tests his confidence, and let's see his reply.
And seriously, you, a mother?
Do you think I'd make a bad one?
Definitely.
See, this is called a shit test, and you want to do everything in your power to pass them. A shit test is a way for a woman or man to test the durability of your confident frame, and based on your response, she'll be able to determine how much of a catch you are. A common example is if you flirt with a girl and she says, "Oh, you probably say that to all the girls." The wrong answer would be, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not some player." Congrats, you failed. But if you instead stay true to your frame and say, "Well, of course, it's my golden pickup line. Pretty good, huh?" She will see that your confidence is not easily shaken, and you passed the test, my friend. Somebody who's putting on a fake front of confidence would fall into that trap and be like, "Oh yeah, you would be a great mother, of course you would, ah." But no. He stands his ground, holds his framing, and does not bend to her will. And these are 3 ways that true confidence differentiates from fake confidence, but the good news is that these are all things that you can work on and sharpen with experience and practice. So keep your head up and build that true confidence that cannot be f***ed with. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe because it's a win-win for both of us, and until next time, peace.